it's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it?
What's good? Now that the Extreme Z Awakening for the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is out on JP, I figured it'd be a good time to test out and see how this team of 70% leaders do on the same team. Now, because there is a mix between Super and Extreme types, it is with the all types lead, which is the LR 1000 Day Goku, which provides 100% to all stats along with +3 ki. So again, the Gotenks unit is fully EZA'd, so you will see quite a bit of a difference between that unit and the rest of the 70% leads. But you know, it's definitely interesting and exciting to, you know, kind of wait on and see what the rest of the EZA units will be for the 70% leads. Definitely leave a comment and let me know which unit amongst the 70% leaders that you are most excited about. And number two, what are, you know, the potential stats, you know, and changes to the passive skills and skill sets that you think will come with the EZAs for the rest of the 70% leaders. We'll go ahead and cover some of the stats, just lightly touch up on, you know, the stats of some of these units and go on. But at least for the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks unit, there's been some changes with the super attacks as well as the passive. Much more better improvements overall in terms of, you know, the super attack ability to, you know, supreme damage from extreme like before with the 12 ki. You know, passive skill attack increase of 140% versus 120. You know, in addition to that, if ki is 11 or less, you know, you're also looking at defense increase of 70%. So much better unit overall. And you saw the attack stats potential, and you're seeing it right now. I mean, this is with the 100% leaders, and you know, here and there you're seeing the potential of 1.4 million in attack stats versus the rest of the units on the team that are barely breaking 1 million or, you know, less than 1 million. So, you know, that definitely does make quite a bit of a difference in terms of, you know, the overall, you know, performance of the unit. The one I want to cover next is the Super Vegito unit. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are excited about this guy's EZA, and imagine this guy with attack stat potential similar to the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks unit. Now, probably not to that extent because he doesn't have any sort of, you know, attack increase as part of the passive skill. Maybe they'll add that as you know, the EZA, where, you know, in addition to reducing damage from normal attacks by 80% and countering, maybe they'll add some sort of like percentage-based attack increase. If they do that, this unit's going to be pretty ridiculous. But I think it's about that time they should probably do some sort of attack percentage increase for this unit. Now, that's pretty much what's mostly known about this unit, is the tremendous countering ability. With the super attack, it does provide allies attack increase of 30% for one turn. So in addition to being a very good countering unit, you know, definitely has the ability to help out the rest of the team as well. Moving on to the Extreme Intelligence Ultimate Gohan Absorbed Majin Buu, aka Buhan unit. This one is overall a pretty solid unit, and it's still a great unit as of right now, I think. But at the same time, he could certainly use improvements. I mean, the super attack definitely does have a couple variations depending on, you know, the ki meter. For the passive skill, you do have the attack increase of 12% for every ki collected, and also recovery of 3,000 HP. So they'll definitely make adjustments on that, you know, with the attack percent, and also, you know, the recovery for the HP per ki collected. So definitely expect to see some changes with that. Moving on to the Extreme Strength Omega Shenron unit, pretty solid unit as well. I mean, you're looking at attack increase of 80%, all enemies attack minus 30%. You'll probably see an increase in that percentage for attack. I don't know how much of a increase you'll see with the enemy's attack drop. 30% is still a pretty good amount, so, you know, we'll have to see how much of an improvement he gets with that. Now, the last one is probably the one that really needs a boost in stats, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. This is the Extreme Physical Type Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. What really hurts this unit is that passive of attack increase of 7,000. I mean, that's a flat rate. The great thing about this unit is the ability to get additional supers when ki is 8 or more. So they definitely need to change this 7,000 to a percentage base. The other thing too is the super attack only causes supreme damage. I highly doubt they'll actually give him immense because he does have the built-in additionals, but it'd be pretty crazy if they did. If he got immense damage with some sort of percent-based attack increase as part of the passive, with that already built-in additional super attack when key is 8 or more, this unit could potentially be very, very good. I think on average, I mean, this guy really is underwhelming in terms of the attack output. So this guy definitely needs it the most out of all of them. But, you know, every one of these guys will definitely benefit from an EZA. So it'll be quite interesting to see how these units do overall. So we did get the first, you know, set of the EZAs from the 70% leaders, being the Gotenks unit. I'm not quite sure what the order is going to be. Who the hell knows? I feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like they're going to save the best for last. So like the Super Vegito unit, they might just hold off on that till the very end, like save him for last, just to piss people off, I guess, in a way, and let that excitement kind of build up a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be next. But, you know, we do have like 4 more coming as of right now since we did get the first one. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Broly will be next and then followed by Shenron and then Buhan and then finally Super Vegito. That's my guess. However, you know, it's purely a guessing game at this point. So, you know, we'll have to see with that. But I think it'll be quite interesting. Again, this is based on just including every single one of these 70% leads on the same team. So obviously they're not in their best settings. This is strictly just 100% overall stat increase across the board because of the leaders, which are the 1000-day Goku. So on their proper setups, you know, it could range from, you know, Potara to the movie bosses full power to, you know, transformation boost and whatnot. You know, they definitely do get much bigger boost overall to stats just from the leaders, and you could certainly build better teams around it because you have better linking buddies and whatnot. So, you know, this is just merely just looking at all of these units on basically the same pedestal and seeing how they do compare to each other. And really, the whole point of this is to include the EZA version of the Gotenks unit just to see how that unit does much better than the rest of the units right now. And I'm quite excited about these units getting, you know, improvements. It'll definitely be a good thing in terms of being able to use them a lot more frequently. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I use Super Vegito still quite a bit, mostly on either, you know, Battlefield or Battle Road, more so on Battlefield, just because you do have to bring in certain types of units, you know, based on certain stages, and, you know, that unit is still phenomenal. I mean, the countering abilities still do make a lot of a difference. He's able to put out decent enough damage to where it's still, you know, beneficial to have him on a team, so, yeah, it's definitely going to be, I wouldn't say broken, but it's going to be a major improvement in my opinion. Now, it really does ultimately come down to the passive skill structure of what they're going to do. Are they just going to keep the, you know, countering mechanic and that's about it, or are they going to add anything in addition to that, like some sort of percentage-based attack increase based on either super attack or at the start of every turn, whatever the case is. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens with that, but it'll be quite interesting. I'm also looking forward to Broly's EZA as well. I think it's one of those units that definitely deserves a hell of an improvement. Again, that 7,000 increased flat rate to attack hurts him as well. Supreme damage is definitely very lackluster, I guess, compared to the rest of the units. I mean, the rest of the units are looking at immense, you know, based on the super attack structure. So it's definitely the worst out of the bunch. So I think he'll more than likely get one of the biggest improvements out of the bunch, I think, in my opinion. So, you know, we'll see how all that plays out. And again, it really does come down to what the exact order will be of the releases. But, you know, 2019 is definitely going to bring some changes, and we'll see if these units become, you know, as strong as some of the newer ones, and we'll see how they do overall. I don't know. Again, you know, definitely leave a comment and let me know Which unit with the 70% lead group are you most excited about in terms of the Extreme Z Awakening? What are your thoughts on the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks unit so far, since it is officially out now? You know, and what are some possible changes to stats that you expect to see with, you know, units like Buhan, Broly, Omega Shenron, and Super Vegito? You know, definitely let me know. Let's leave a let's have a lively discussion on, you know, predictions and whatnot, and go from there. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Super Vegito is definitely one of the ones that I'll be most excited about, just because it's still a pretty relevant unit right now, and it was definitely one of those units that, you know, early on when the unit first came out, I was most excited about pulling, and it just made life so much easier at the time, you know. So it's definitely going to be very nice to be able to kind of look back on it and, you know, use them a little bit more frequently than I do now. Again, I don't really use them outside of maybe Battlefield and Battle Road, so it'd be nice to be able to put them on a team on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll see what happens with that, and go from there. But, you know, in terms of the Buhan unit and Omega Shenron, they do share a few links. However, you know, the leader is, again, the 1000-day Goku, and these two units have much better linking buddies than each other. So, you know, it's definitely not anywhere close to the output that they could reach on the best settings. Again, this is more or less a testing of seeing how they do on a level playing field, and just kind of compare each other against, you know, one another, just to see, you know, how things hold up. And then also lastly, seeing the difference that the Extreme Z Awakening from the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks has made in comparison to the rest of the units that haven't really gotten the EZA yet. So it'll give you kind of a good insight as to what to expect. I guess we do have you know, type advantage here with Super Vegito, but he's already supered before, so let's go ahead and see how the Gotenks unit does in comparison to you know, some of the other units, since he's the one that has the EZA. I mean, again, 500,000, that's still half a mil in terms of attack stat output. It's certainly not bad, and, you know, it's only going to be on the upside. You know, it'll definitely be higher. Again, this is with the 100% lead, so his attack stats will obviously be much higher than what it currently is. But, you know, in comparison, it's a good gauge of seeing how units do against each other. I guess we'll just see how Omega does with the Dokkan mode attack. Again, pretty useful unit still. I mean, attack increase of 80% is not bad. Obviously nowhere close to what some of the newer units get in terms of percent boost based attack increases from the passive, but also the ability to reduce enemies attack by 30% is definitely beneficial to have as well. I'm sure, you know, people relied on him for Super Battle Road in addition to the Shenron that also you know, reduces defense and whatnot. So, you know, definitely a useful unit in certain settings. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the deal with these units as of right now, and we'll definitely look forward to how their EZAs end up being. And again, this will be a good video to have, you know, leading up to that, and see how things change over time. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. As always, I do appreciate you watching, and definitely stay tuned for more content coming up. All right, peace out, guys.